$500, $600, $700, $800 or $1,000 for those suits and what have you. The most expensive suit I've ever bought yet in the thrift store, yet, has been less than $50. And some of these suits are valued at over $500. So yeah, I really am that poor. But I go to a thrift store to get all of or most of my clothes. Sometimes I'll go to a regular store and buy brand new clothes if I can afford it. But yeah, I really am that poor. Now, most people aren't going to tell you this. It's embarrassing and it could be career suicide. I don't care. And this is for the people at the networks and Channel 11, 2, 4, CBS, CW. I want you to put me on your station. And you should do that because this is a very good human interest story. And because people matter. And because I'm so honest. Or how about this? I'm the real reality TV. What I do is really reality. But yeah, I really am that poor. Now, in case you're wondering, how did I get to that figure? Well, I told you I was poor. They was getting ready to shut off my gas one time, so I had to call up the gas company to try to stop them from shutting off my gas. Well, if you look in the back of your disconnect notices, if you ever get one, it will say that during the winter months, they will not shut off your gas unless the PUC allows them, Public Utility Commissions, if you are 250% below the federal poverty line. And I didn't realize how poor I really was till I read that paper. According to that paper, I was over 500% below because there was a certain amount to be considered 250% below the poverty line. I didn't even make per month half of the 250%. I was less than half. That's where I get my figure of 550% below the poverty line. It said if you had two people in your household, you can make something like, I think it was $2,500 per two people. And I looked at that. And frankly, I was embarrassed and upset. I said, the two of us together don't even make half that. That's where I got my figure. Now, with regards to the thrift stores, let me tell you something. It's a little bit risky to let you know I get all my clothes there, because if you find out how great the deals really are, they're going to be a lot more crowded. But you know what? I care about you. That's why I'm telling you, go to the thrift stores. You can get things that your kids will look sharp for back to school. You'll look great at a major event. And you can do it for hundreds of dollars less. Don't believe me? Go to your nearest thrift store. I would love to tell you which one I go to, but that may constitute advertisement. However, I will do this. I will tell you that the one I go to makes sure that they put the sizes in order. And some of them don't. Some of them it's all miscellaneous. You gotta go there. I mean, you see the clothes? You see them. Yes, sometimes they're big, too big for me or too small. True. But you can always get alterations. But when you're 550% below the poverty line, you got to do what you can do. You can't be picky. And yeah, I really have gone into a dollar store and been upset that they raised prices. You see, just to give you a little, for instance, or some lightheartedness, the potato chips in the stores that are dollar stores usually were 25 cents a pack, which meant that for $1, I could get 4 little packages. Well, about a year ago, they raised it to 30 cents. And I'm so broke, I got upset. I was like, wait a minute, they raised it by a nickel. That means instead of getting 4 packs for $1, now I gotta come up with $1.20. And yeah, that 20 cents adds up, believe me. I'm fighting against extreme poverty. And yeah, I really am what I say I am. But you know, it's getting dark again, and we're both kind of glowing in the dark here. So Annette's got some final things she might want to say, so take it away, Annette.
Well, everything he's saying is the truth, and we're not embarrassed to admit it. And all this that we talked about is really important, so we really hope that you listen carefully, and that you act on what you heard, and help healthcare reform bill get passed, and really consider people who really need health care and what situations they're in because they have lack of it.
And I want to thank you, Annette, for being willing to be cold out here, because it is chilly.
It ain't that bad.
It ain't that great, though, is it?
No.
If you didn't have your jacket, you'd be chilly, right?
Not for this time of year.
Well, before I go, I do need to mention, I want to say that I feel for the families of the victims of September 11th, 2001, and I hope that all of you will have reflected on that important day and tragic day. But I also hope that you will remind Congress that we cannot run and hide and take away our civil liberties in order to protect us. Because you cannot have liberty if you have too much security. But it's time to close down, but it's time for you to go to www.senate.gov, www.house.gov, and www.thepetitionsite.com. It's time for you to change America for the better. And it's also time for you to remember what?
Remember that you and humanity really does matter.
Good night, everybody.
Good night.